Hey guys, M13 here. This is one of the most beautiful prisons in the world. I'm about to show it to you. This is the view. There's the garden. There's a hot springs on the other side of that road there, a natural hot springs which bubbles out of the earth. And yeah, here we go. The guy's name is Zhang Xueliang and his girlfriend Zhao Yidi. Confinement at Xinquan? 1946, 1957. In total, this guy was under house arrest for 50 years. 50 years of his life spent in confinement. And but this is the house that he lived in while he was in Taiwan. He was originally in confinement for I guess it looks like 40 years in China. And then when the Chinese government moved to Taiwan, they brought him along as a political prisoner, but gave him this house. So this was his actual home. And he's pretty famous. This guy Zhang, I'll put some links in the video description if you want to learn about it. He was the ruler. He was a general, I think, pretty sure, and he was the ruler of northern China. His father before him was also like an emperor or a general and the ruler of northern China, but he was assassinated. So he's extremely wealthy and the ruler of all northern China. And yeah, he lived. What happened was the father of Taiwan, the George Washington of Taiwan, Chiang Kai-shek, was before he was the ruler of Taiwan. He was the ruler of the government in China. And right around the time when civil war in China was brewing, Chiang Kai-shek visited this guy's northern China, and this guy kidnapped him and held him like hostage and tried to get him to change his political views to fit in line with the communists. And then he held him hostage for about 2 weeks, and then the government, I guess the army, came in and got Chiang Kai-shek free and arrested this guy. And then some kind of deal was made that he wouldn't go to prison, but he would do like house arrest. So for the next 50 years of his life, he wasn't allowed to leave his property or under house arrest. And then there's a cute story in there. It's from his diary. He talked about how while under house arrest, he was allowed to go outside, he was allowed to be on his property, and then some of the locals nearby were playing like badminton or tennis, and he wasn't allowed, like his guards wouldn't let him play with them, but he was allowed to sit and watch them play. And he said every once in a while they'd hit the ball and it would come to him, and he was allowed to pick it up and throw it back. And that was like his highlight for the day, because he was allowed to interact with the locals. Yeah. He lived to be over 100 years old. He had a wife when he was arrested. He's also famous. He's famous for a couple other things. Ruler of northern China, kidnapped the leader of Taiwan, the leader of the ROC government, the Kuomintang government. He's also famous for having like 2 wives, because he had a wife in China, but I think when he got put under arrest, she didn't follow him, and so then he got a new wife. And then he also supposedly had an affair with Ida Mussolini. I'm not sure who that is. I haven't Googled it yet, but it sounds like it's like one of the leaders of like Italy or something, some famous princess or something. So yeah, that's the dude. Celebrating Christmas, and that's his second wife there. But yeah, it's interesting. So it's pretty neat being in this is such a culturally significant place. The leader of all northern China, who kidnapped the leader of Taiwan, and this is where he spent 10 years of his life in confinement and under house arrest. There's this, but it's just gorgeous up here, and the guy lived to be over 100 years old. So maybe, considering he lived a large portion of his life in these beautiful places with clean air and probably clean food and whatnot. Not so bad. What I'm with. I'm going to explore the inside. Let's see him for more information. You can always pause the video if you want to read something. It's called the Xi'an incident. This is where he used to. Yeah, this is where the leader of northern China used to eat his meals, in a corner with the windows open with the wife. So he could look out at the view. Yeah, nearby the house prison, there's an Aboriginal market. That son's got the COVID. Yeah.